I probably got to start again. So what you're hearing is some foreign talking that I kind of topping with my junior review right here, because I don't want to lose any time of my life listening to bullshit. So, well, bullshit I'm not understanding. If it were Swiss German, I wouldn't mind, even if it were louder. So here in this magazine for the kids, you have these products that they are advertising, and these are like the Swiss knife, but this one is for kids. It doesn't have a sharp peak, whatever it is called. It's kind of funny. The other things, they're all plastic, or like this bear, maybe I would buy. But the other things, like chocolate, okay, even though it's very expensive chocolate. But the other things I cannot recommend, really. This game I don't really know though, so I'm not really sure. So let's continue. That one is bullshit, because you can do it yourselves, can't you? And there is better ones than this one. This one is just plastic. That one is okay, because it kind of schools or teaches you to think in 3 dimensions, sort of. These crazy pets I wouldn't recommend, because yeah, there are more natural animals around that you could buy. These I don't recommend either, because the colors are artificial. And that one, that plastic, I wouldn't recommend either. So this one is a old-fashioned game, and it's made out of wood in here. That's kind of funny to see. It's all plastic. And then this one, wood. It's like all the boring things, they come in wood. This time we're not gonna look at the comic, because it's just obviously kind of not, like here it says something with how is it called when you're hungry? Hunger? Not really. So I don't care, it's just all dark again, and I don't care for these comics. And also that one, I wanted to show you the Transformers because of the movie that came out. So here we are. I saw a kid and it was running around with this Megatron right here that can be transformed into a Panzer. Is this the word for it? So these are kind of funny, because like boys, they like stuff that you can move around, that is kind of moving. But otherwise, if you look at the faces, like he was really having that one in his hands, and he went like, look what I got. And it's plastic again. So I'm not really recommending this either, because if you, yeah, these are just a few, how do you say, like if you got this one, Megatron, the only thing you can do with it is to turn it into this one. But for your imagination, you should have blocks and sticks and stuff like that to construct different kinds of architecture, maybe. So that one would be more of use. Then we go through this real quick. That one is plastic as well, so I don't recommend it. It needs a lot of advertisement. How is that called when you go advertise it really real hard? So now that's a movie that just came out, and there we have some dogs, some horses. Stupid explanation I read right here, because it said like the horses, they would like to be in the snow running around, and the cats as well, they kind of walk on top of the snow and they find back to their warm living places. But the thing is, a cat is not really out for warm sleeping places. I know for sure because I got a cat and it's not doing that. So there again you have some real dogs and some real cats in here, but otherwise it's all artificial, like this character, the Grinch. I mean, what is this? Is this a human, a frog? It's artificial. Then you have some cars, so they're like priming the children to be driving cars. Oops. Just now my stuff was flying all over the place, and then this guy talking so loud wanted to touch my stuff. So I went like, don't touch it. Really, I mean, if he doesn't really get it that in Switzerland you're not talking that loud in a train, even by now. I have done like one video and now I'm continuing. He's like lost forever. So I'm gonna like really fight it, because this is my country, and whenever I drive in a train I don't want to listen to any of this bullshit. So if I gotta listen to that bullshit, I'd rather be producing it myself. So here we continue with this magazine, and I told you that they're advertising cars because people should end up driving cars in the end, sure. Even though it's for kids, I'm not really sure what they're going to do seeing this car here, even though I know they like it, especially the boys. So here we have a lot of Nintendo console games that I wouldn't recommend either. There is not one of those good ones advertised in here, so I cannot recommend Squad Strike Round 5 or any other game. Now finally we got something that I see in all of those juniors for the girls, something to do with their hair. It's kind of funny. We always have that one happening in here. And they're even advertising some natural hair dye. Well then, here we got some kind of a game, Wimmelspiel. You need to look it up yourself. Then we got a labyrinth, again with artificial characters, and even here this new movie, which is called as follows, has got artificial characters, which I wouldn't want to put in front of any child. Then we got here a boys game, which is like a moving airport stuff, which I wouldn't recommend either, because you shouldn't play with airports or train stations or police stuff, or firefighters might be okay, because there you can really learn something for your whatever daily life. But all the other things are priming children to later on accept these professions. Like, you shouldn't accept a policeman, never. So then we got a comic which has these characters talking to each other, which is kind of funny because it's animals that got voices. Like here it's talking. That's not natural either. So here we got a fairy, which is again stupid. They could just put a normal horse in here, couldn't they? Here we got some real nature, but it's talking again. They put some bubbles to read. Then we got the city agenda, so you can start admiring living in a city. Like, ooh, look at that mess. It's a nice photo, that one, okay, but otherwise if you are in a city, in all of these apartments you will find a rubbish bin. And imagine how many rubbish bins you will find in a city like this with such a lot of apartments. And also the people going out and letting their dogs pee everywhere and stuff like that. And you're living in that environment? Hello. So that's what they're kind of hiding with these pictures. Then there is Times Square. What for they got this one in here? I don't really know. It's like, oh, everybody's gotta go and see Times Square and this one as well. So I saw a transvestigation of this one. That was kind of funny. Then we got again some comic where you sort of have these twins that I don't like. People shouldn't be equal, they should all be different, and they normally are, but these just look totally the same. So they didn't even put different t-shirts, but otherwise they're the same hair, the same eyes, and that one is not natural. So they want to make us be all the same by this, and that's why they put that one in here. So we are getting to the end of this junior magazine for the kids. There's not much I can tell you about this one. Here we have some clever kids again, helping out the elders. I don't want to get into this one because yeah, it's to do with Christmas, and I'm not really into this tradition at all. So let's finish this and say for ending that this cat is about the only natural picture you find in here. All the other stuff is drawings of unnatural stuff like talking dogs or even verse, the movie we saw, all these transformer bullshits, or here the twins, which is all not natural. And therefore also there's too many unnatural colors in here. It's very intriguing for our eyes to look at it, but in the end it's like a betrayal because it's just flashy colors but no real content. Content would be if it were something about the nature, something to learn, or something witty, some real interesting, like made up comic. But this is just all kind of boring. Goodbye.